Russian Revolution puppet show.
It was the 1800s and everyone was doing great except Russia. If you were Tsar, then it was great. Yay! If you were anybody else, then it sucked. If you were a peasant, then you were also a serf, and you were practically owned by your landlord. Everyone was mad. Everyone wanted a solution. One guy had a solution. Lenin. Lenin wanted communism, but he was in Europe, writing socialist newspapers and starting a group called the Bolsheviks. Yeah, communism. Whoa. His advisors, Sergei, decided it was time for industrialism. That means workers. But long hours, low wages, dirty environment, crowded dormitories, the workers are mad. And everyone was mad. On January 22nd, 1905, an Orthodox priest named Father Gapon led workers and their family in a very peaceful protest to ask the Tsar for better working conditions and more freedom. In response, soldiers opened fire on the crowd. 200 died and 800 wounded that day. The event was known as Bloody Sunday. Workers' demands increased, liberals demanded political power, peasants demanded land, and the sailors began to mutiny. The 1905 revolution began. Leon Trotsky, leading the Marxists, similar to Lenin's Bolsheviks, began setting up a locally elected council called Soviets that coordinated strikes and supplied the workers. Sergei wrote a manifesto that would give the liberals an elected assembly called the Duma, except the Tsar didn't listen to the Duma and did what he liked anyway. Russia used all their troops to dismantle the Soviets and cracked down on the peasant uprisings in the countryside. And just like that, Nicholas survived the 1905 revolution. Yippee! It was 1914 and Russia was losing World War I. Russia was running out of resources. And as the king, the people blamed him. Grrr! Grrr! Russia was on the brink of revolution. On National Women's Day on March 8, 1917, thousands of hungry women in the capital went to the streets. Men were hungry too, so the next day they joined as well. Turns out the soldiers are hungry too, and they mutinied and joined as well. They protested for no more war, food, and end to the Tsar. Nicholas was forced to abdicate, and so 300 years of Romanov rule came to an end. Without a Tsar, the liberals set up the provincial government, and the Soviets set up a local Soviets. The two coexisted, and the provincial government became the official government, and the Soviets issued orders to the workers and soldiers. Lenin came and changed everything. He was on the Soviet side. He promised peace, land, and bread, and the people liked that. The Bolsheviks became popular, and the Mensheviks, like Trotsky, went to Lenin's side. Yay! Russia was losing the war, and the people were more hungry. The people rioted under Bolshevik slogans. We love communism! We love Lenin! Peace, land, bread! And something like that, whatever. Kerensky, the prime minister of the provincial government, took the opportunity to trash the Bolsheviks. He arrested the leaders and Trotsky. He then accused Lenin of being a German agent, so Lenin had to flee to Finland. The people were on Lenin's side and mad about losing the war and protested. The liberals and businessmen were not happy. To make them happy, Kerensky decided to promote a military legend to Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, General Kornilov. Unfortunately for Kerensky, Kornilov hated the liberal and social reforms. Fearing a Bolshevik takeover was imminent, Kornilov ordered his men towards Petrograd to snuff out the Soviets and take over. Kerensky freaked out and released Trotsky to help him. They, along with the Soviets, organized the defense of Petrograd. Kornilov's coup fell apart and was sent straight to prison. Bolsheviks' popularity skyrocketed and Trotsky was elected to become chairman in Petrograd. They were powerful. Powerful enough for Lenin to come back to Petrograd. The Bolsheviks began planning to take over an armed revolution. Kerensky freaked out and began arresting Bolsheviks. That threatened Lenin to start his revolution right now. The Bolsheviks walked into key buildings in the city and took control. In just one day, they took over Petrograd. Kerensky barely escaped before the Bolsheviks took over the Winter Palace, placing the provisional government under siege. Lenin was finally in charge. The Bolsheviks decided to allow a vote because that's what a perfect communist world should do. Psst, hey, we lost. What? We lost to the social revolutionaries. What? No more perfect communist world. Lenin shut down the voting and cracked down on protests. But Lenin was also giving reforms like redistribution of land, nationalizing industries, and improving workers' environment. Everyone was happy, but he also did set up a secret police to repress and kill anyone that disagrees with him. On August 1918, there was an assassination attempt on Lenin's life. During this time, World War I was still going at it, and Lenin had promised peace. So Lenin made Trotsky negotiate a peace deal with the Germans, and the Germans offered harsh terms. They did not want to agree, but the situation got worse, and they were forced to sign a horrible deal, losing 1/4 of their population and industries. The capital Petrograd was too close to the Germans, so they relocated the capital to Moscow. The people were so mad that they united against Lenin. Everyone was against Lenin. Even foreign countries were against him. Russia was now in a civil war. Lenin was red and everyone else was white. Surprisingly, red won because the white were so disorganized. Red came on top and Lenin was back to creating his perfect communist world. But the civil war caused a famine and 5 million died, and the disease and epidemic killed 3 million. There was massive inflation and the ruble was worthless. Hundreds of railways had been destroyed. The population collapsed and everything sucked. Because of the constant immense stress, Lenin had multiple strokes and his health went downhill and his ability to lead went downhill as well. Lenin died in 1924. Stalin succeeded Lenin. He arrested and executed anyone who opposed him and banished Trotsky. Stalin was not a good guy. He would do purges, assassinations, censorship, and a secret police called the NKVD. But Stalin did start a 5-year plan to improve industrial output to fix the economy, and it worked. He started collectivization where farms were owned by the government and 90% of produce went to the government, which forced farmers to work together and share their crops with each other to increase crop yields and speed up mechanization. Stalin's reforms changed Russia from a country struggling to keep up to a political and economic powerhouse. The revolution is finally over. So why did the Russian Revolution matter today? The anti-colonial efforts that the Russian Revolution sparked eventually provided political, economic, and military support for the independence movements in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. The Russian Revolution also prepared the ground for communism to become a powerful world political ideology, which caused geopolitical culture to undergo change as a result when communism became popular. That's all on the Russian Revolution puppet show. Thank you for your attention.